Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Learning Bites with Booming Encore. My name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. And today I'm joined by Mike Drak. Mike is the co-author of Victory Lap Retirement and also a public speaker on retirement planning. Welcome, Mike.
Morning, Susan.
Mike, well, I thought we could first start off with it, just kind of have a conversation because you've kind of got an interesting story on how you actually even came about writing the book. So, how did you actually even come up with the idea of writing Victory Lap Retirement?
Well, really, I guess it's a result of the struggles I went through trying to figure out this retirement thing for myself. Uh, I didn't really know what retirement meant. And when I was pushed out of my corporate job after 36 years, I was trying to find the right answer for me. I had a lot of trouble with it.
Now, this isn't a traditional sort of what I call a retirement book. You know, a lot of them are written about financial planning. This is more about the non-financial aspects of retirement. How did you actually find yourself wading into that particular area?
Well, what I was trying to do was what exactly I would do in retirement. I wasn't so concerned with the money side, even though that caused me some sleepless nights anyways. It's just human nature. But I wanted to know exactly, what do you do in retirement?
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting frustrated because I would go out to the library and read all the books there on retirement. And then I went to like chapters and bought books and read there. But I couldn't find the answer I was looking for. And, the books were great. They had, benchmarks and how much money you would need in retirement. But then again, they never told me, well, what actually you do in retirement? And that frustrated me.
And why do you think that is? Why has this been an area that's just been so ignored for so long?
Well, I think it's just the financial services industry looks at the money side. That's where their focus is. And that no one's really sat back and said, okay, maybe we got an extra 30 years to go. How are you going to fill that time? Because if you're not working anymore, you free up about 2,000 hours a year. And what are you going to do with that time? What's going to make you happy? What are the fun things that you would like to do? And this is something we never think about. We automatically assume retirement will make us happy. But I promise you, when you get there, if you don't have any plans in place, you're not going to be very happy.
So how did you go about deciding that writing a book was the thing to do? I mean, a lot of people talk about it, but very few actually do it. But you actually did. How did you even start down that path?
Well, it's a result of my frustration in trying to figure out what retirement should look like for me. And then I thought, everyone's going to experience the same frustration with this thing. I'm concerned with people because, they're so focused on saving money, but no one's talking to them about what are you going to do in retirement? What are your values? What will make you happy? What will you find fulfilling? What will make you feel like you matter? Because 30 years is a long way to go. And you have to have a good feel for that. And no one was really talking about it. So when I figured out my own path, I thought, all right, it took me a couple of years to finally figure it out and get a good handle on it and be happy with it. I thought it was something that we could help other people with and avoid that, number one, frustration, number two, wasting a lot of time trying to gear up for retirement.
So what's sort of the content that people can expect to actually see in the book?
Well, number one, we try to give an understanding. So we go back and we say, here's the history of retirement. Here's why it used to work. And here's why it doesn't today because of increased longevity, mainly. And the numbers don't work. It's kind of crazy to think that you can work for 30 years and finance a retirement just as long. So you need different inputs, different ways of looking at it. And so, these are the things we went through. And essentially what we do is we create a new retirement lifestyle for ourselves that's unique to us based on our own wants and needs. And we try to figure that out. And then once we know the lifestyle we want, we cost it out. Then we go back to our financial planner, our investment advisor, and say, okay, can I afford this?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make it work? Do I need to cut back? Maybe I need to work a little bit of part-time work in retirement and generate some extra income. So these are all the moving parts. The answer is different for everyone, but there's so much more to it that has to be thought through to create a good retirement for yourself.
Now, there's a term that you actually use in the book called financial independence. What do you actually mean by that?
Well, one way, one thing I discovered and I thought about was we all get caught up into this retirement thing. And I just talked to my boys about it. They're just starting to work or finish school. And I said, the focus shouldn't be on retirement right out of the gate. You shouldn't automatically think you got to save all this money and focus on a retirement for them that might not happen for 40 or more years. I said, focus on financial independence. Save enough money so at some point you can say, hey, I have enough. I can generate enough cash flow from my financial assets that I've built up over the years where I don't have to work anymore. And at that point, you're financially free to do whatever you want. And my point to them is, okay, now you can start doing the fun stuff. Maybe you don't have to have such a demanding, high stressful job. Maybe you can find something, at a slower pace that you really enjoy doing and keep doing that for as long as you can. So it's a different way of looking at it, but unfortunately, all the banks still like to focus on retirement as a finish line, as a time where you can stop doing things and just relax and enjoy a life of leisure. But it doesn't work out that way in retirement for most people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of information and studies out there now that are showing the value of having some sort of purpose, or for lack of a better word, reason to get up in the morning. And
Oh, for sure.
Is no different. It's the exact same thing. You need some reason to get out of bed.
That's right. And that takes a lot of thought too, is finding that purpose, right? Or finding multiple purposes where you can really enjoy life, retirement, and feel that you matter. To matter is so important. And you lose a lot of that when you give up your work identity, when you leave your primary career. You have to replace that sense of identity, and you have to replace the structure you had at work too. So you should be able to wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm excited. I got something I know I'm going to do. And you have structure to your day. So you're going to go to the gym and you're going to work out, and maybe you're going to work a little bit and have other things already scheduled. So you have this structure back. You know exactly where you're going.
Now, you weren't an author before this, right?
No.
So how did you find this experience of writing a book?
Very fulfilling, very demanding. I felt good about it. I really like the work I created. I think it's going to save a lot of aggravation for a lot of people and guide them in the right direction. But having said that, it's consumed too much of my life, and I want to enjoy my retirement also. So after this current book I'm working on, there will not be any more books for me. But you see, this is one of the keys for retirement is you learn these things, you try new things, new experiences. You say, hey, I like doing that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't, but at least you're trying and you're finding out more and more about yourself. What I really found I like is public speaking. I like getting in front of a crowd talking about the book and watching their eyes light up when they finally say, hey, there's more to it. And it gives them hope for the future. And to me, that's a lot more fun than writing a book. The book was great. I needed to do it, but it was too hard, and it's not a good fit for me.
Well, I'm so glad you did write the book, because it's a great book. It's got lots of valuable information, and I'm looking forward to certainly reading your second one when it comes out.
Thank you very much.
So that's it for today, everybody. I'm going to welcome Mike back on a number of occasions. We're going to tackle a few other topics too about planning for your non-financial side of retirement. But that's it for today. Hope this information helps you live your best booming encore. Bye, everyone.